The US has come up with a travel ban memorandum, and there are 36 countries that sit on that list. And the crazy part is now the US is fully aware of all the CBI programs, and it has listed most of the citizenships on that list. Once that memorandum goes into effect, they have technically given 60 days to fix some deficiencies, but a lot of these Caribbean citizenships are running helter-skelter to implement whatever the US wants. They already have implemented all the principles that were handed over to them. And obviously, apart from the US, they're also trying to comply as fast as possible with all the EU requirements. And a lot of EU country citizens who did not think about this before, right? So their home country in some cases does not allow dual citizenship. They thought, okay, I'll get a Caribbean citizenship. The home country is never going to know. But now, because of the exceeding exchange of data with the US and EU, those kind of cases are going to be in deep trouble, because obviously you don't want this type of paid citizenship, or at least some of those Caribbean citizenships, to be your only citizenship. That really cannot be the primary citizenship for most people. So that's where this creates a problem. Now, I wanted to discuss a few countries that are immune to this because they aren't branded as CBI. No one can pinpoint and say, oh, do a precision strike on those countries and say that, hey, we're going to ban this because this is a CBI, because it's not a CBI. It's not open to all. It's by recommendation. So there are a few countries which fall under the category of recommendation or exception, which are authorized legal citizenships by the governments, but they're almost sort of immune. That's the new strategy for a lot of countries. They want to operate under the radar. They want to provide citizenships for people who contribute to their nations, but they don't want to do this as a marketing buzz. This should be a private affair between you and that country. I'm going to discuss a few that are immune to this kind of an attack by Western nations. Let me first start off with the obvious ones that sit on that list, that memorandum, which are at the most risk of facing a travel ban to the US. What the travel ban entails: can you never go to the US? Are your existing visas, if you have any, going to be valid? What happens if you have a second passport which has the visa to the US? So all those details still need to be published, but we're going to know that once that memorandum goes into effect. But what are some of the notable examples on that list? Now, most Caribbeans are in the travel ban memo, except Grenada. Grenada is a special citizenship. I regard that citizenship much highly as compared to any other Caribbean citizenship because of two or three main reasons. One is it has Russia, China, it has good Western access, all on the same passport. It has E2 to the US, it does have some treaty advantages, and it's usually immune from all the craziness or all the noise. It has more leverage, it has more power, it has, I think in my opinion, it has more respect globally, and that's why I don't consider that to be the same as any other Caribbean citizenship. And at any point in time, right, while I'm discussing all these countries, if you are interested in getting started with any of the CPIs that I recommend, you can always click the link, book a call, we can discuss which one works best and immediately get you started. So Grenada is definitely a thumbs up because it's not on the travel ban list. It has a lot of versatile access and it's a more respectable product or to rely on and keep in your portfolio. Now let's look at some other passports that are affected by this, right? Egypt is affected. It has poor mobility, not a strong passport at all. It's a plan C at best. But I think it has its own internal situation that I would take a look at, right? I won't be comfortable with any plan C as such because once the country has some power, it can backfire. Your plan C has to have least control over you, so you're keeping things legal. You're not intimidated by that nation. A nation like Egypt could easily intimidate a few people. And again, this is not legal advice. This varies from person to person. But let's say if you ask me, I would definitely be bothered by a country like Egypt if I'm trying to utilize that passport for Plan C. So what's my opinion on Egypt? Well, it's on the memorandum, so that's not good. Second is that the country has a lot of influence over its citizens, so I don't see that as a good factor or a strong factor. it is a weak passport, so absolutely not a mobility type of solution. So it's an intimidating plan C to me, and it could be a great solution for someone else watching. It's just my opinion on the topic. Let's consider Nauru for a second here. Nauru is an interesting option. It's not that people don't know about it. Now people have started to realize that it's a CBI, it's operating like a CBI. Ireland was quick to jump, right? It immediately understood the news and it revoked the visa-free access off of the Nauru passport. So now it sits in the same bucket as Vanuatu at the same price point, considering that Vanuatu has a component that gives you back a certain investment amount, right? There's a 50K of approximately 50K of investment amount. So technically you can recoup that. So if you're considering the similar price point, right, 170-ish for both programs, and if you're going to get back 50K with Vanuatu, then it really makes Nauru a less attractive option. Some people, because of the slightly better reputation, would still go in the direction of Nauru, but at the same price point, given that you could get 50K back, I think Vanuatu takes a slight edge. Now, there are citizenship by exceptions that are going to remain immune to this travel ban nonsense, right? And I shouldn't say nonsense. It's valuable for the country that's issuing the travel ban, but it's nonsense for the countries that are facing the travel ban if they look at it, right? So the travel ban is never good for any country. So that's, in that sense, it's nonsense for them. Now, the countries that are immune to this are exceptional citizenships because they're not selling their passports like other countries are. Their reputation is not like a passport for a sale option. It's not a passport shop option. It's through recommendation or referral or through, as I said, exception. So in West Africa, there are a bunch of nations where this is possible. Governments can be approached and they can authorize a citizenship. This one such plan C, and I really feel highly about this plan C because the country is not much in control of its citizens. They don't care. All they care about is that little bit of money that can do a lot of benefit to its people. So in that sense, it's an effective strategy for that country to gain some money, and obviously they don't mind making new citizens. It does have some very unique features like ECOWAS. Some nations have the CPLP categorization. So you have a couple of exceptional options in Africa, and we specialize in that domain. If you are looking to get a citizenship fairly quickly, bypass all those other countries, right? They're taking a year and a half in some cases. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So in that sense, if you're looking for something in a month, then approximately in a month, then you can start this and we directly liaison with the government officials. There's a lot that you get with the citizenship. It's not just the speed. There's a lot of documentation that you get along with these options. You can always, as I said, reach us. We can have that discussion and get you started. What else? I think Turkey is an interesting CBI. Not for all. A lot of Westerners would want to stay away from Turkey, but Turkey is unaffected by that travel ban. So that's in the good books as of now, or at least it's better in terms of the US access as compared to the other countries. So in summary, from the CBIs, Turkey is so far good. Grenada is good. Nauru is good. So that's where you might be safer if you're looking to go back to the US. And as I said, the African nations are completely immune from this whole scenario. What else is through exception? There's Serbia, citizenship by exception. Now, is citizenship by exception possible in the EU? Yes, it is. We know for sure Latvia and Estonia could be good options, but the thresholds are very high, right? And it's discretionary, so you obviously want to get a confirmation from the immigration from those countries, and that's something that we obviously discuss from time to time with multiple clients. But the thresholds are very high. The known and the published CBI used to be Malta. It's shut down. It's no more. And then obviously the slow pathway to citizenship is still the Portugal Golden Visa with little to no physical presence in the country. So that's an option as well. Is there a citizenship by exception elsewhere in Latin Americas? Yes. There is citizenship by exception in Mexico and citizenship by exception in Argentina. At this time, I would try to stay away from the citizenship by exception in Argentina. And that's my personal opinion. Again, people can do what they want. But the reason why I'm saying that is because Milei is making a lot of changes. He wants to introduce a CBI style option at 500K. We don't know what that looks like. One would rather be safe waiting and watching what he's trying to do because there's some drastic immigration changes that are happening happening in Argentina. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What's the best and the fastest citizenship to acquire in 2025 and why? I would like to hear your thoughts. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest breakthrough news and analysis. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and catch you in the next one.